आणि रिंकू राजगुरूची मुलाखत आपण बघणारच आहोत. तुर्तास जाऊयात पुण्यामध्ये. पुण्यातल्या हडपसरमध्ये राहुल गांधी तरुणांशी संवाद साधतायत. थेट जाऊया त्या कार्यक्रमात.
Excuse me. Hello. Can we switch off these lights? Or we can you shift the focus? Can you shift the focus towards this? Yeah, thank you.
So boys and girls, we were going to have a sit-down chat where, of course, like I've always said, I do not want to get to know my political leader through Twitter. I do not want to get to know them through other spaces. I would rather make up my own mind, research, and what is better than actually having Mr. Gandhi visit us here as students and actually talk to us. What do you think about that? Yes? And then you have all these questions. You have written so many questions here, Mr. Gandhi. Actually, I'm going to start with asking, because I know that's what happened at the last university. How do we address you? Do we call you Mr. Gandhi? Do we call you Rahul? Rahul Ji?
Rahul's fine.
Rahul's fine. All right, मी क्लिअर करून घेतला हो. कळलं का? All right, Rahul's fine. So, Rahul, what we have is these. Yes, because we are going to now stand and walk around. I know this ramp is constructed. Yes. They already love the idea, Rahul. Subodh is also here. Subodh has some hard questions for you. I have some questions from the hearts of these students. But most of all, they have written down a few questions for us. So I'm going to ask Subodh to please start
Yes, sir.
with what's in
First
it.
of all, मैं पूना में आपका स्वागत करता हूँ,
थैंक यू.
क्योंकि हम पुणेकर बहुत प्यारे हैं, सबका तहे दिल से स्वागत करते हैं. और हमें पता है कि ये इलेक्शन का टाइम है और आप पूरे भारतवर्ष में यहाँ से वहाँ से वहाँ, केरला से वर्धा, वर्धा से नागपुर, बेंगलोर, ये सब आप घूमते रहते हो. फिर भी इन सब बिजी स्केड्यूल में आपने ये सुबह का 2 घंटे का वक्त हमारे पुणेकरों के लिए आपने निकाला, हमारे सब स्टूडेंट्स के लिए आपने निकाला. तो मैं आपका बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं और ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि ये सब करने के लिए एक करेज लगता है, एक फिटनेस लगता है. तो ये करेज, ये फिटनेस, और सबसे पहली बात यह है कि ये मलिष्का तो इज अ वेरी फेमस पर्सनालिटी इन मुंबई बिकॉज शी इज आरजे इन रेडियो सिटी एंड आई एम एन एक्टर. मैंने आज तक बहुत सारे बायोपिक किया है, लोकमान्य तिलक जी के ऊपर भी किया है, और मुझे बहुत सारे लोगों ने बताया कि मैं बहुत आप जैसा दिखता हूं. तो मैंने सोचा कि व्हाई डोंट टू मेक अ बायोपिक ऑन राहुल गांधी हिमसेल्फ.
But the opposite is also true. I look like you.
तो एक काम करते हैं सर, आप मेरे बायोपिक में काम करो.
How old are you?
43 सर, बस आपसे
43.
थोड़ा सा छोटा हूं. तो आप मेरे बायोपिक करो, मैं आपका बायोपिक करता हूं. सो फॉर डूइंग अ बायोपिक आई हैव टू नो द पर्सन, आई हैव टू नो द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द पर्सन. उसने कैसे स्ट्रगल करके वो इतने मुकाम तक पहुंचा, ये मुझे जानने के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो मैं सोच रहा हूं कि आपके घर में देयर इज अ ट्रेडिशन. जवाहरलाल नेहरू हो, इंदिरा गांधी हो, राजीव जी हो, आपकी माता हो, आप हो, और अभी आपकी बहन प्रियंका जी. तो एक बहुत बड़ी ट्रेडिशन है और 2 हादसे आपके घर में हुए जिनके आप साक्षीदार थे, जो आपने, शायद आप बहुत छोटे होंगे उस समय. तर मित्रांनो, काही गोष्टी मी त्यांना कळाव्यात म्हणून बोललो, पण आता महत्वाची गोष्ट अशी आहे की एका लहान मुलाच्या आयुष्यात 2 अशा घटना घडतात की ज्यांनी त्या लहान मुलाचं आयुष्य डिस्टर्ब होऊ शकतात. एक त्याच्या वडिलांचा मृत्यू आणि एक त्याच्या आजीचा मृत्यू. या दोन्ही घटना तो लहान मुलगा अतिशय जवळनं बघतो. वो छोटा बच्चा इन दोनों घटनाओं से बहुत नजदीक से देखता है. त्याचे बऱ्याचशा गोष्टींचे परिणाम त्याच्या मनावरती होत असतात, सायकोलॉजिकली, फिजिकली. और वो छोटे बच्चे को स्कूल नहीं जाना पड़ता, उसको बोर्डिंग स्कूल भेजा जाता है, फिर होम स्कूलिंग वो करता है, और फिर भी वो उसी क्षेत्र में करियर करना चाहता है जिस क्षेत्र में उसने 2 दुर्घटनाओं को देखा है. तो इसके लिए बहुत करेज की जरूरत होती है. एक बहुत ही, जैसे बोलते हैं हम, वाघाचं काळीज ज्याला मराठीत म्हणतो, तसं वाघाचं काळीज असण्याची फार आवश्यकता आहे. तर राहुल, तो राहुल, ये करेज आपने कहां से लाया? ये एनर्जी आपने कहां से लाई? What makes you today's Rahul Gandhi after all these years?
करेज कहां से आया? करेज एक्सपीरियंस से आया। जिन चीजों का सामना करना पड़ा उसको एक्सेप्ट किया, और जो सच्चाई है, जो रियलिटी है, उसको एक्सेप्ट किया। और सच्चाई से करेज आती है। अगर आप सच्चाई को एक्सेप्ट करोगे, करेज आएगी। अगर आप झूठ को एक्सेप्ट करोगे, डर आएगा। सिंपल सी बात है। तो मैं, सच्चाई कभी कभी कड़वी होती है, कभी कभी अच्छी होती है। कड़वी हो या अच्छी हो, मैं उसको एक्सेप्ट करता हूं और उसके बेसिस पे काम करता हूं। तो नॉर्मली उसी से करेज आती है।
Malishka.
Rahul, I'm going to ask you to come into the light a little bit because unless you, of course, you must walk into the audience when you're addressing them personally.
Can I
Please,
say a little bit more?
please.
See, from truth comes humility. From humility comes courage. That is the simple link.
And actually, that is exactly what I was going to ask you about. You've just come from Wayanad. I hope you've had some great bamboo rice payasam over there. Did you eat something cool there? Because people asked me to ask you.
I love the food.
No?
In Kerala, South India, I love the food.
Maza. It's like lots of rice, different kinds of it. Wait for the-
Little bit too much chili for me, but I deal with it.
Yeah, Kerala is a different feel altogether. At the end of your visit, your sister Priyanka, she tweeted about you and she said, Wayanad, take care of him, but she did call you courageous. So I was wondering, what are the instances, like you belong to a family where, like I studied political science in college. You belong to a family that it was part of. So can you give us a few instances that perhaps happen at home or the kind of dinner table conversations you have, and what might have prompted Priyanka to say, yes, my brother is super courageous, that we don't see perhaps?
I mean,
Yeah?
as I said, I don't like to make excuses. I deal with what I'm faced with. And I'm persistent. So if I decide that something has to be done, I will do it. Doesn't matter what the costs are to me. Doesn't matter what I have to go through, what struggle I have to deal with, I'll do it. So that's just my nature. And I'll generally like to stand up for people who are weak.
Alright.
Sometimes I get attacked for that. I talk about farmers. It's not very fashionable to talk about farmers. I talk about poorer people. It's not fashionable. But I think it's important that we use all the energy that is available in India. So I do that.
All right. Your election promise also is around that. You've said that we don't break our promises. Do you think it's a tough thing to say, or is it something that is really doable when a politician, or when someone like yourself, forget anyone else, when you put out a manifesto like you did, and people question it, or people ask, how is it possible? Do you think...
Well, first of all, the manifesto that we put out is not really our manifesto, because it has come from thousands and thousands of conversations like this. So it is an expression not of the Congress party, but of the people of India. We have gone to students, we've gone to farmers, we've gone to youngsters, doctors, lawyers, all the stakeholders of this country, and we've spoken to them and we've asked them what they think. And they've told us. The 72,000 rupee idea, by the way, hasn't come from us. It has come from the people of India. So we listen and then we try to implement. I don't like making empty promises. I don't like making sweeping statements. I like saying what is possible. Sometimes that doesn't look as exciting as, just saying whatever you feel like, but that's what I like to do.
But it will happen then. It will happen. What you said will happen. Happen.
The 72,000 rupees in
Yes.
20%, 100%. It is going to happen.
That's
All right.
great.
We've already, not only is it going to happen, we've already calculated where the money is going to come from, how it's going to happen, the pilot project that is going to happen, the phases in which it's going to be released. So we have not just said we are going to do this. We've actually studied in detail how it's going to be done.
That's great, Rahul ji. Now to the questions. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स आए हैं. बहुत सारे सवाल उन्होंने पूछे हैं. उसमें से बहुत सवाल हमने लिए आपके लिए.
So both, to be precise, देखो कितने सारे सवाल हैं.
या इतने तो बहुत सारे सवाल हैं.
It's a lot of questions from you guys that we
तो
picked up.
उनका जो कीमती वक्त हमें मिला है उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए हमने उसमें से गिने चुने सवाल लिए हैं और वो सब सवाल बायस नहीं है. मतलब वो प्रो भी है, फॉर भी है, अगेंस्ट भी है, सब सारे सवाल है. तो ये जो पहला सवाल है मैं चाहता हूं कि तो आप बार बार आपके भाषण में कहते हैं कि वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट होनी चाहिए. भारत में महिलाओं को ज्यादा से ज्यादा उनका स्थान मिलना चाहिए. तो पहला क्वेश्चन, पहला सवाल महिला का है. हालांकि वो स्टूडेंट है. रोहिणी गायकवाड़, एसपीपीयू पुणे कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर डिपार्टमेंट. जिथे कुठे असतील प्लीज उभे राहा.
Rohini, where are you?
या रोहिणी.
Alright, there's Rohini on our right.
या
Where is she?
या रोहिणी, please put your hand up.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. So my question is, I feel everybody is talking about unemployment, that is absolute unemployment, but nobody is talking about disguised or underemployment. That is, engineering graduates or even postgraduates are paid 10 to 15,000 a month. So it's like, what are they doing? It's a question on their education altogether. So what is your plan, that what you have thought and how to address this issue?
How to address the fact that our education system is producing large numbers of engineers and doctors who then don't have access to engineering and medical jobs. That's the question?
No, sir.
Then what is the question?
So my question is, they are being underemployed. They are not being paid what their caliber is.
Okay. Do you know how many jobs are being produced in India today? Does anyone know that number? I'll tell you. 27,000 jobs are being lost in India every 24 hours. That's the correct number. China is producing 50,000 jobs every 24 hours. India is losing 27,000 jobs every 24 hours. That is the situation. And the reason is that in this country, we do not respect skill. We do not respect the capability of a person. I'll give you an example. This city here, Pune is a center of higher education. Pune has the opportunity to be connected to the rest of the world. So you have a successful result. But there are thousands and thousands of centers of skill in this country. In every district, there is certain capabilities, certain skills. But those skills are not respected. You do not connect those skills to the economy. You do not support those skills. You do not build an ecosystem where jobs can be created around those skills. So, first thing, respect skill, identify skill, and then target that skill with finances, with political support, with help. That is one aspect of the thing. The second is our university system is not connected to our job system. So our university system produces graduates, but there is no link between our university system and the corporates and the business system. So building a bridge between the corporates and the university system. Changing the universities into networks. Currently our universities are silos. They have very brilliant conversations internally. They have exceptional students, but those silos are not connected to the rest of the economy and the rest of the world. So that is how you would unlock jobs in this country.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Miss. Rahul, we're going to get the next question from Mayur Udasi. Mayur Udasi is from Bharati Vidyapeeth and Dental College. Mayur, are you here? All right, there he is.
Where is
The
he?
boys are right at the back. That's the boy. He's right there. Yeah, right till the end then. All right, can we have some
Hello.
audience light on the boys? The boys are feeling a little bit. Hi, boys. How are you? All right, can we pass the mic to Mayur Udasi, who's standing there? Mayur, the mic's on your right. Thanks.
Sir, you promised that the Congress will give 70,000 rupees per year to the 20% poor people. So, how is the funds being raised?
That's a good one.
Have you heard of a man? Have you heard of a man called Nirav Modi?
Yes, sir.
You've heard of him? Have you heard of a man called Mehul Choksi? Vijay Mallya? And the best of them all, have you heard of a man called Anil Ambani? Okay. Anil Ambani was given 30,000 crores. Mehul Choksi, 35,000 crores. Vijay Mallya, 10,000 crores. Mehul Choksi, 35,000 crores. Why were these people given money? How many jobs has Anil Ambani given this country? How many jobs has Nirav Modi given this country? 3,50,000 crores. 3,50,000 crores is the amount of money that was forgiven to the 15 richest business people in this country. Right off. I want to ask you, how many of your loans have been written off? How many students here have had their education loans written off? Is there anyone? One person. Who wrote your loans off? Nobody. So why is it that in this country, if your name is Anil Ambani, you can get 45,000 crores written off? If your name is Nirav Modi, you can take 35,000 crores and run off to London, nothing happens. Whereas if you're a student, you can't get your loans forgiven. If you're a farmer, you can't get your loans forgiven. There's plenty of money in the system. There's no shortage of money in this system. The money will come from Mr. Anil Ambani. The money will come from the people who have dominated the banking system and not given anything in return. Crony capitalists, that's where the money will come from. The money will also come because when we inject 72,000 rupees into every poor person's bank account, the Indian economy will start again. What has happened is the Indian economy is jammed shut. I told you 27,000 jobs a day are being lost. Banking system is completely jammed and the economic cycle is not firing. The moment we start to put money into people's hands, they will start to buy things. The moment they start to buy things, production will begin, factories will start working. Moment factory starts working, we will get more taxes. That's where the money will come from. But the issue is not where the money is going to come from. We will deliver that. We have committed that. The issue is why should 15 people, and I can name them, get access to unlimited amounts of money when nobody else in India has access to that money? That's the issue. The issue is one of fairness. And that is what I'm fighting for. We've done all the financial calculations. There are large numbers of schemes, small schemes that are really not effective. Those schemes will be subsumed. There are strategic schemes like Manrega. Those will not be subsumed. And I want to guarantee you another thing. Money will not come from the middle class. Income taxes will not be raised, and we will deliver this without raising the income taxes. Thank you.
Yay! So Rahul, that was a question that a lot of my friends did ask. That share market हिल जाएगा क्या? हमारी बात लगेगी क्या? Do you have something?
आप यूपीए का रिकॉर्ड देख लीजिए, शेयर मार्केट की ग्रोथ देख लीजिए, और पिछले साल की शेयर मार्केट की ग्रोथ देख लीजिए, कंपेयर इट. वेरी सिंपल.
ओके, देयर इज अ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लेकिन इनका जो नाम है वो लेने से मैं थोड़ा शर्मा रहा हूं. इनका नाम ईशा है. तो अच्छा, ये जो एन ईशा है, न्यू लॉ कॉलेज BBA LLB सेमेस्टर 2, कहां पे है ये? Isha. Isha.
ईशा टॉर्च के लाइट से तुझे
Where is
ढूंढना
Isha?
पड़ेगा कि भाई कुठे
Where
है
is
तू?
Isha? सर क्योंकि मेरा एक टेलीविजन सीरियल चल
ईशा
रहा है
चुप
उसमें
गई।
मेरे हीरोइन का नाम ईशा है तो इसलिए मैंने बोला
अरे
कि
she's here. You're
कहाँ पे?
here. We found
अच्छा ईशा हाँ
somewhere up front. कुठे का भाई?
Hello,
ask your question.
Hi, sir.
how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm good.
So, my question is, what is the future for women participation in politics?
33% of Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, Rajya Sabha seats are going to be reserved for women after 2019 when we come to power. We are going to ensure that 1/3 of parliament, 1/3 of every Vidhan Sabha is guaranteed to have women in it. Second thing we're thinking about is 33% of all jobs at the national level should be reserved for women. That is the broad, those are the broad ideas we have in our manifesto. And if you're interested in politics, please come and have a chat with me. We'll try and bring you into Vidhan Sabha or Lok Sabha, wherever we can. Are you interested in politics?
No,
You're not interested?
really.
Come and talk to me. We'll make you interested.
Sure. Okay, thank you, sir.
What do you want to do?
Basically, I'm doing BBL LB first year right now, but not yet planned for the future.
Do you think you're going to look for a job or
Yeah,
start your
corporate.
business? Corporate?
Yeah,
Any particular area?
not as such. Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, Isha. The girls are blushing as well, Rahul, around you.
The other thing you would have noticed, talking about women empowerment, I'm happy to see that women are sitting in the front over here and men at the back.
The men are very upset with.
It's an important thing. I think women need to be given space in business. They need to be given space in politics, and they need to be part of the conversation. That's why I'm happy that you're sitting here in front of everybody.
All right, ladies, 1 point for you, but the next one is a gentleman, Rahul. This one is Yash Seth from New Law College. Yash Seth, where are you? Are you a popular boy? Because they'll find you and throw you upwards. How many of you remember standing outside ATMs trying to get your money out like some time back? This question is about the demonetization, and I hope we find him. Oh, the boys are up front. All right. Yash, how did you make it to the front of the stage?
Hello, sir.
Good job.
Hello?
So my question is that India is still reeling from the effects of note-banding. So how can this be revealed from the? How can India be revealed from this jammed economy?
Well, first of all, unfortunately, note bandi or demonetization was a disastrous idea. Taking 500 rupees and 1,000 rupees and just removing them from the economy. You can ask any economist you want, that's a disaster. And it had a terrible effect on the economy. 2% of GDP was lost. Millions of jobs were lost. And the economy jammed shut. Frankly, there's nothing that can be done about demonetization now. The damage has already been caused. So there's not much that can be done. But as far as job creation is concerned, there are a couple of ideas that we're working on that will seriously improve the job situation. Number one, as I've said, currently the Indian banking system is completely controlled by 15, 20 people. Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, Anil Ambani. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't have access to bank loans. So we want to give access to lots of young entrepreneurs to the banking system, to bank loans, so that they can start their businesses. That's one. Second thing is, when a youngster in Pune wants to open a business, first thing he has to do is he has to take permissions from different government departments. Go to one department, please give me this permission, another department, third department, fourth department. Every department you go to, you have to pay a little bribe. So by the time you start your business, you're already done. So what we've done in our manifesto, which is a revolutionary idea, We've said that if any youngster wants to start a business, for 3 years, he or she doesn't have to take permission from anybody, any government department for anything. You go start your business. Once you've started your business, take your time, spend 3 years doing your business. If your business is successful, if you've got some employees, 20, 30 employees, then come to the government department for permission. So we want to remove that hassle from you. Third thing, 22 lakh government jobs are lying empty. India needs to build a education infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure. And it needs to build public government institutions that are good and effective. So we are going to increase our expenditure on education and on healthcare. We're going to take our educational expenditure to 6% of GDP. And in order to run these institutions, we're going to require lots of people. So 22 lakh jobs will be filled to fulfill the challenges of universal healthcare and education. There's another 10 lakh jobs that we can create at the panchayat level in the rural areas. So that right there is 33 lakh jobs. And that's easy. Once we do the Nyay scheme and we pump money into the economy will start, production will start, and you will see that jobs will start up again. But the sad part is that demonetization, frankly, nothing can be done. It's like a injury that we have sustained and we are going to have to carry with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah.
And there is a next question from Aditya Mishra. Aditya is from Bharati Vidyapit, deemed to be University College of Engineering, Pune.
He's the question guy.
Aditya, please come forward.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, as you mentioned in your manifesto that in the coming government you will replace the Niti Aayog with Planning Commission. So, sir, what are the drawbacks that you saw in Niti Aayog that you are willing to replace it?
The difference between the Niti Aayog and the Planning Commission is that the Niti Aayog gets into implementation of policies. They talk about how some projects should be carried out. The Planning Commission plans India's strategy. The Planning Commission was a strategic institution. It didn't do things at the project level, it did things at the national level. And so that's the difference between Niti Aayog and the Planning Commission. We believe that India needs an institution that strategically thinks about what needs to be done at the global level, not at the regional level or the local level. So that would include, for example, how should Indian healthcare interact with the rest of the world? How should the healthcare industry be developed? How should the civil aviation sector be developed? These are strategic questions. And the power of the Planning Commission was that it was strategic. It thought about strategy, not about tactics. Niti Aayog thinks about tactics. Tactics can be done at the state level. Tactics can be done at a much lower level. Strategy needs to be done at the national level. That is why the nature of the institution needs to be changed. We want a strategic institution that allows us to solve problems at large scales. That's why we are going back to the Planning Commission model.
One more question.
Yeah.
Sir, in the last Planning Commission, there were no non-permanent members.
Sorry?
And in the last Planning Commission, there were no non-permanent members. All were the permanent members. So in the Niti Aayog, there were 2 non-permanent members from science and research field. So in the coming Planning Commission, will you add some non-permanent members?
That's not a problem. I mean, we can look at how the Planning Commission is designed. We can look at what type of people are in it. That's not a problem at all. We're flexible on that. But what we're interested in is a strategic institution, not a tactical institution. And that's the real key. You know, the Green Revolution, Telecom Revolution, White Revolution, these are strategic moves. Bangalore was a strategic move. It was not a tactical move. India needs 2 or 3 big strategic moves right now because we need to compete with China. So, Planning Commission is key to strategic thinking.
Thank you, Aditya. Rahul, there is a next question from Ishwari, Zui, Mohini, Jay, and Utkarsh. They are all from BYDU DCH Pune. Ishwari, Zui, Mohini, Mohit, Jay, and Utkarsh. ओके तुमच्यापैकी कोणी एक जण विचारा तुमच्यापैकी वन ऑफ यू अँड वन क्वेश्चन ओनली चालू आहे
Hello, sir.
Hello.
So my question to you is, what are your views about the recent attack, the airstrike which took place, and who do you think should take the credit for it?
I think the Air Force should take the credit for it. Air Force has done it. Air Force has done it. Air Force should take credit for it. And I think it's important that people know that they can't mess around with India. It's important that people understand that there is a cost. It's important that they understand that there is a cost to messing about with India. So overall, I think I'm for the airstrikes. But what I'm against is the politicization of the airstrikes. That's what I'm against. You wouldn't have heard me in any of my speeches sitting there taking credit for the airstrike. I know where credit is due. Credit is due to the Air Force, to the pilots. And I don't want to make it a political issue. I feel uncomfortable, frankly, when the Prime Minister politicizes these type of things. But that's a choice. I don't do it, he does it. That's his choice.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I'd like to ask Shraddha Mishra. Shraddha Mishra, are you in the audience? Can we please?
You have a question?
Shraddha, wherever you are, can you raise your hand, please? Yeah. And then okay. Shraddha's on our right, Rahul. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
So my question is, the students which go for education, higher education to abroad, what do you think how our Indian education system will help them for further education? Like, because our education system emphasizes more on theory rather than practical knowledge.
Well done, Shraddha.
You know the earlier question which I answered about underemployment. The basic problem is that our education system, and not just our education system, our business system, works without taking into account skill. What you're calling practical knowledge is skill. What you saw on the stage, what you saw those youngsters doing on the stage, that's skill. In our system, in our education system, in our business system, even in our political system, skill has to become the key. And frankly, if you look at the education system in the United States, they emphasize skill much more effectively than we do. I've studied in both the systems. So I've seen both the systems. What is very great about India is our students and their capabilities. They're absolutely the most brilliant students in the world. So, frankly, the Indian education system has a reputation, not because of what it does, but because of what you do. You're actually the asset. You're actually the strength. So when people say IIT is a great institution, what they're actually saying is that the students of India are very, very good. But if the institutions, if the education system could add to the power of the students, to the effectiveness of students, it would be truly transformational. In our system, we don't appreciate questions. In our system, the teacher says and the student listens. You're nodding your head, right? I'm here. I've come here. There's 7,000 students here. You're asking me whatever question you want. Some questions might make me uncomfortable. Some questions I might like, but I'm answering them. I've got the guts to stand here and say, listen, ask me whatever you want. Some of you might ask me questions that make me uncomfortable. No problem. I'll deal with it. Why is the Prime Minister not standing here? Why is the Prime Minister not standing in these type of functions, open functions, where anybody, she's looking at me saying she wants to ask a question, and anybody can ask a question. It's an attitude. It's an attitude that I know everything, nobody else knows anything. And that's the problem. And it's not only the Prime Minister. It's at every level. We don't appreciate questions. But we should, because you only get answers when you ask questions. So we have to move from a memorization-centric system to a question-answer system, where the teacher is made to feel uncomfortable, where the teacher has to go home and say, oh my God, I got into trouble, I need to study again. Because facts change. I mean, I was shocked. One day my nephew was doing his geography lesson and I went and sat down. What they were teaching in that book was what I had learned 20 years ago. The same thing. Hadn't changed at all. Now, it can't be that geography, we haven't analyzed things differently. Today we have satellite pictures. Today we have complete transformation. But why is the syllabus the same? Means that you're stuck because you're not asking the relevant questions. So for you, my message is ask questions, disturb people, disturb me, make me uncomfortable. Because I'm a political leader, I need to be made uncomfortable. I need to be uncomfortable, so I say, I went to that student interaction, they asked me that question, I need to figure out the answer. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody. Anywhere. So it is our political leaders have to put themselves in a place where they're uncomfortable. They have to look for answers. I don't come here with the idea that I can answer every one of your questions. No. But I can certainly go back and say, well, that was an interesting question. I need to go and get the answer. So that's the process that we have to start up. But I want you to realize that in all this education system, you're the asset. You're the asset. The education system is not the asset. The IIT is not the asset. You're the asset. The IIT is only an asset because of you. And that's why we need to treat you with respect. Somebody said in the beginning, I have come here and given my valuable time. Nonsense. You have come here and given your valuable time. Why is your time less valuable than my time? It's not. So that's a wrong approach. We are all giving our time. And we are all giving our time to have a conversation, and everybody's time in this room is valuable as mine. So it's an attitude thing.
We've also got, Rahul, we have, the man needs no introduction, we have Sam Pitroda with us. And I was wondering, yes, please give him a big hand. This question is about quality of education. Mr. Pitroda, would you like to make a comment about this amongst our students?
Thank you. During Dr. Manmohan Singh's time, there was a National Commission on Knowledge. I request all of you to go look at the report. It is a report that deals with 5 aspects of knowledge: access, concepts, applications, creations, and use of knowledge in government. We dealt with 27 subjects, from school education to university education, engineering education, legal education. Everything has been mapped out with a group of 10 people who worked on it for about 4 years. Unfortunately, nobody reads it. Nobody knows about it. We have a blueprint. We could not implement a lot of it, but we also implemented a great deal of it, like knowledge network, connectivity to panchayat, with broadband. All of these issues are very important for education. Research and development, startups, innovations, entrepreneurship. When we come back to power in 2019, we would like to revisit that document, modify it, and then begin implementation at all levels. Like Mr. Gandhi said, the real challenge today is jobs and jobs. We know how to create jobs. Some of you may not know because you are too young. When I started my work in telecom with Rajiv Gandhi in 1981, in 84 we had 2 million telephones. It used to take 10 years to get a telephone connection. With political will from Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, support from young talent like you all, we started focusing on Digital India in 84. Mr. Modi takes credit for it today. That's okay. In short span of 25 years, today we have 1.2 billion phones. We have created millions and millions of jobs. Software industry then was zero. Today we have $150 billion worth of export in software. So we know how to create jobs, not only in IT and telecom, during milk revolution, green revolution, space, defense, atomic energy. I assure you, we will create 100 million jobs. I don't know how many of you have seen this document which says Congress will deliver. I guarantee to you, we will deliver. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for being amongst us. Thank you. Rahul, are you having fun addressing our audience?
Yes,
Are they a
yes.
good audience?
Yes.
All right. Are you?
ओके सो जैसे मैंने राहुल से कहा और जैसे मैंने आप सबसे कहा कि मैं यहाँ पे आया हूँ क्योंकि मुझे बायोपिक करना है इनके ऊपर, तो बाकी तो कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में ये पूरे इंटरव्यू के बीच बीच में मुझे पता चल रहा है, लेकिन सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है सर, डायरेक्टर तय हो चुका है, कैमरामैन तय हो चुका है।
डायरेक्टर
Now,
कौन
है सर, मैं ही हूँ।
अच्छा, कैमरामैन कौन है? कैमरामैन कौन
सर
है?
मैं ही सीख रहा हूँ, मैं ही करूंगा।
सब आप है।
नाउ सर, देयर इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क, वी हैव टू कास्ट अ हीरोइन इन फ्रंट ऑफ।
Yeah. That's a good one. Thank you. I'm
So,
standing
sir,
in the
The
background.
heroine is. Tell me.
तो किसको, मतलब ये जो एंगल है इसके बारे में मुझे
Who would be
पता
the
करना है।
heroine?
हाँ, मतलब हीरोइन कौन होनी चाहिए?
I'm unfortunately wedded to my work.
ओह माय गॉड।
Girls, yeah. How
That's
are we
boring,
going to
but that's how
change
it
this,
is.
girls?
तो मेरे हीरोइन का नाम मैं वर्क करके रखूंगा और उसको
Work.
वर्क। Anyway, sir, this is our next question from Nisha Ankam, Bharati Vidyapit College of Engineering. Nisha. Nisha, हाँ, sir, here.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
In India, rural healthcare system is not very developed. Many regions don't have even qualified doctors or many proper medical equipments. So how can we treat the patients during any emergency or accident victims or any aged people or old people? So how can we overcome this issue? How the government can support the people in this situation?
सबसे
Because
पहले, sorry.
yeah. So they have to come to the city. From the isolated region, they have to travel so much distance and for the accessing hospital care. So how can we provide the service?
Logic for some time in India has now become that whether it is healthcare or education, privatization will solve the entire problem. So the government has given up its responsibility for education and healthcare. It doesn't put in nowhere near the amount of money that it should put in to build proper healthcare facilities, proper education facilities.
So we are going to put in significantly more money into health and education. And we're going to start building high quality institutions at the district block level, healthcare institutions. You look at the AIIMS idea. AIIMS was invented in the 50s. We haven't invented any new healthcare institutions. We don't actually put the money in. And if you don't put the money in, you won't get a result. So we are going to put significant amount of money into healthcare, into education. We want the government to provide the best quality examples. Remember that IIT is a government institution. It's not a private institution. AIIMS is a government institution. And the government has a responsibility to show the private sector that this is what quality is. That's, we will put significantly more money into it. Do you know that on both healthcare and education, there have been dramatic cuts in expenditure over the last 5 years? Huge cuts in expenditure.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Rahul, I now have a kind of sweet question from Krupali Jadhav. Krupali, where are you? Ferguson College, Pune? Second years, all right. Before she starts up with her question, she's walking up. I want to know, Rahul, do you celebrate Raksha Bandhan with Priyanka?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it a sweet like the whole...
I have a very, I think, uncommon rule. I wear my Rakhi until it breaks. No.
I thought he was giving me a high five,
I'm
sorry.
showing it to you. See, there it is.
But you enjoyed the high five.
You can give me a high five too. So I don't take off my Rakhi, I keep it and it's there. I think it will stay there till next Raksha Bandhan at least. My sisters, she's my best friend. As she wrote yesterday, she's my best friend. And we've been through life together. So we're very close.
And I feel like politics cannot be devoid of love and affection for family and for people around you. And
Not
so-
only family.
Yeah, for people around you, for
No,
an extent,
look.
more.
I love Mr. Narendra Modi. No, I do. I genuinely have no hatred towards the man at all.
Viral ho gaya.
I have no anger.
Simmer down, he's saying something, yes.
I have no anger. But I have no anger towards or hatred towards Mr. Narendra Modi. He has anger towards me. It's fine, no problem. I have no anger towards the man.
That's a good mark when you are able to talk like that about your
But
opposition.
there's a difference. There's a difference.
I would like it to turn around because the camera.
There's a difference. He doesn't feel the same way.
All right, I'm going to let Krupali ask her question because it involves bhai behan ka rishta and pyar.
Good afternoon, sir.
Where is she?
Here.
Right there.
Good afternoon, sir. And first of all, I would wish you all the best for your upcoming elections.
Thank you.
Till now, very political questions have asked, but now I would ask a personal life question. हर घर में भाई बहन के रिश्तों के बीच मस्ती मजाक या लड़ाई झगड़े होते रहते हैं। तो अभी प्रियंका मैम भी पॉलिटिक्स में एंटर कर चुकी है, तो अब आप दोनों के बीच में किस चीज को लेके झगड़े या आर्ग्यूमेंट्स होते हैं?
झगड़े तो नहीं होते। झगड़े काफी मतलब पहले होते थे। वो मुझे मतलब बदमाशी करती है, वो मुझे मीठी चीजें खिलाने की कोशिश करके मुझे मोटा करने की कोशिश करती है।
Yes, yes.
So that I avoid, but no jhagda with my sister.
Any arguments about any personal life or anything?
Not really.
Now politics, like Priyanka ma'am has entered in politics.
See, you have to see that since I was small, I have been through a lot of violence. My grandmother was killed, my father was killed, and my sister was my friend throughout that journey. And so my sister and me understand each other very well. We don't, frankly, if a situation of getting into a fight arises, either she backs down or I back down. 50% of the time she'll say, okay, I'll back down. 50% of the time I'll back down. That doesn't really happen.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
good, great. And all the best for your election again. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your question.
So, I think here is the last question from the student. But उसके पहले एक मेरा छोटा सवाल है. सवाल में मैं चाहता हूं कि आप इतने सालों से, जैसे मैंने पहले इंट्रोडक्शन में कहा, कि इतना सारा होने के बावजूद भी आपने करेज दिखाया और यहां तक आप पहुंचे. सर, होता है ये कि ये सोशल मीडिया ओपन होने के बाद हर कोई सुबह उठ के पहला काम करता है कि अपने माँ बाप के पैर नहीं छूता है, लेकिन सोशल मीडिया के पोस्ट को कितने लाइक्स आए और कितने कमेंट्स आए देखता है. तो खुद की पर्सनालिटी निर्भर रखता है लोगों के रिएक्शन के ऊपर. आपने सर लास्ट 10-12 सालों में आपने मीडिया में बहुत कुछ अपने नाम पे सहा, आपने बहुत सारी टीकाएं सही, आपने बहुत कुछ सहा. इसके बावजूद भी आप डटकर खड़े रहे, खुद पे विश्वास रखा और अभी आप 2019 के इलेक्शन को सामने जा रहे हो. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि 1-2 लाइनें आप स्टूडेंट्स को बोलिए कि ये जो वर्चुअल रियलिटी में लोग रह रहे हैं और खुद को दूसरे की आंखों में ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो इसके बारे में आप कुछ करो.
रह लीजिए वर्चुअल रियलिटी में. अगर जिंदगी वर्चुअल रियलिटी में जीनी है, जी लीजिए. एक दिन रियलिटी सामने आ जाएगी, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जिस दिन रियलिटी सामने आ जाएगी, उस दिन आपको रियलिटी में जीना पड़ेगा. रियलिटी से आप भाग नहीं सकते हो. रियलिटी से कोई मतलब, आप सपने की दुनिया में रहना चाहो, आप माया में रहना चाहो, रह लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मगर एंड में आपको रियलिटी का सामना करना पड़ेगा. एंड में आपको काम करके परिवार को, बच्चों को खाना खिलाना पड़ेगा, माता पिता की देखभाल करनी पड़ेगी. ट्विटर से आपके माता पिता की, बच्चों की देखभाल नहीं होने वाली है. सिंपल सी बात है. मगर ये तो आपके ऊपर चॉइस है, ये आपकी चॉइस है. अगर आप वर्चुअल रियलिटी में जीना चाहते हो, जी लो. मैं तो रियलिटी में जीता हूं, मुझे रियलिटी में अच्छा लगता है. और बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो आजकल की दुनिया में रियलिटी में रहते हैं, सच्ची बातें करते हैं, प्यार से एक दूसरे के साथ बातचीत करते हैं. नफरत से, क्रोध से फायदा नहीं होता है. हिंसा से फायदा नहीं होता है. हिंसा से फॉल्स सेंस ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस जरूर आती है, फायदा नहीं होता, नुकसान होता है.
दैट्स अ वेरी बिग थिंग यू आर टेकिंग टू. और ये आखिरी सवाल, इसके पहले मैं चाहता हूं कि राहुल जी, आप पुनः आए हो. सब लोग चाहते हैं कि आपको यहां पे आके कैसा लगा, ये आपसे, आपके मुंह से सुनना चाहते हैं. बस मैं चाहता हूं कि आप 2 शब्द मराठी में बोले. खूप छान वाटलं. खूप छान वाटलं.
खूब छान वाटलं.
थैंक यू. और ये
थैंक यू.
आखिरी सवाल वैभव पाटील. वैभव पाटील, BVDU कॉलेज ऑफ नर्सिंग, पुणे जनरल नर्सिंग अँड, पुढचं मला वाचता येत नाही. वैभव पाटील. वैभव पाटील. आहेत का पाटील साहेब? कुठे आहेत? हां,
या.
हेलो सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है, why there is no retirement age for the politician?
There should be retirement age. There should be retirement age for politicians. What do you think the age should be? कितने साल की होनी चाहिए एज? हाँ, 60. I agree with you. 60 is a good age for politicians to retire. 60 is a very good age. I think there should be a retirement age. We done?
Malishka.
Yes. All right. Now that we've determined the retirement age, I'm going to quickly do a rapid fire with Rahul Gandhi. Would you like that, boys and girls? All right. They're waiting for some entertainment. They want to know some more things about it. Rahul, rapid means rapid. Okay. It's going to be short and quick ones. All right. Your first question. What is the last movie you watched?
Wow. I haven't watched a movie in a long time. Last movie.
Let me take you out for one. Girls, what do you say? At
Go on.
some point, let me take you out.
I work pretty much non-stop.
I
so.
know. Then you must take. But the last one, very long back.
No, I watched it. I don't remember the name.
All right, no worries. What did you have for breakfast today?
Toast.
All right. Tell me one of your favorite childhood memories.
One of my favorite childhood memories. With my grandmother.
All right.
I used to hide behind the curtain in her room. When she used to come back from work, I used to jump out and scare her.
Oh my.
She knew I was there. I thought she used to get scared, but she never used to
But
get
she
scared.
pretended.
She used
for
to
you.
pretend.
That was sweet. Yes, you can clap if you wish to. All right, Rahul, this one's one. One wish from a genie if you got at this point, what would you ask for? Da 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 da. Soch samajh ke.
What would I ask for? Tough question.
Tough question. I know it's difficult to answer in short form when you're used to, speaking like that. So that's why rapid fire has to be the toughest thing for a politician. One wish.
I would ask for that.
You would ask for?
I would ask for people I care for
Okay.
do well.
That would be all of India. All right. Do you sing in the shower?
Huh?
Do you sing?
No,
in the
no, I'm bad at singing.
All right. But you are a fitness freak.
Yeah.
Do you have six-pack abs?
No.
Okay. The girls want
I used to, but I don't anymore.
All right. Then. Salu, move over. Most craziest rumor you've heard about yourself?
I mean, all of them.
All of them are crazy. All right. Right now, there's a room full of boys and girls over here, and I'm sure each one of them thinks that, well, it'd be nice if we could get a selfie with Rahul Gandhi. So I was thinking, how about we go up front and you click a picture with the whole room in it?
Okay.
Is that agreeable to
Yeah.
you? Yes?
Yeah.
Would we like that? All right, all of us can be in this selfie, boys and girls. You can stand up if you wish. I will hand over my phone to Mr. Gandhi here. Because I'm not sure he came up with his. Did you come up with yours, Rahul?
Phone, yeah. What is this?
I protect my phone like as if I were a politician. All right, ladies. Do we want a video? Do we want a photo? Say it loudly, All right, Rahul, you can do a photo and a video if you wish. That's a photo. All right, everybody raise your hands up. We're doing a photo. You can stand up. Get more of them. All right, let's do a video also. Do you want to do a video? Okay.
And now, sir,
All
मैं
right.
आपको
On that note,
Rahul.
thank you so much, Rahul, for
Thank
being
you.
with us today. It was an honor. It was a privilege, and I'm sure
Thank you
you've
very much.
answered.
Thank you so much,
I
Rahul.
think you should definitely say a
Thank
few
you very
words
much.
to your audience.
It's been a pleasure for me to come here. Thank you for giving me your time. All the best. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Thank you.
सर मैं 2 मिनट आपको नीचे बैठने की कार्यक्रम संपलाय पण अजून महत्त्वाची गोष्ट आहे ती झाल्याशिवाय आपण इथे निघणार नाही आहोत.
तर पुण्यामध्ये तरुणाईशी संवाद साधताना राहुल गांधी यांनी असं म्हटलंय की त्यांचं पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी यांच्यावरती प्रेम आहे, परंतु नरेंद्र मोदी यांच्या मनात मात्र राहुल गांधी यांच्याविषयीचा दुश्वास आहे. तरुणाईशी संवाद साधला आणि तरुणाईनं विचारलेल्या सगळ्याच प्रश्नांना राहुल गांधी यांनी दिलखुलासपणे उत्तर दिली. एक छोटासा ब्रेक पाहत रहा एबीपी माझा.